The grift is strong. Let's move on to Partygate,
Yeah.
our second topic for this evening. A few weeks ago, Partygate seemed to be the end of Boris Johnson. And around that time, there was a fear that by kicking the can down the road with the Sue Gray report, and then that would have to wait until the Met stuff was done, and then it was back to Sue Gray again, and that public interest in these illegal parties in Downing Street would wane. And at that time, those fears were put to rest by journalists by saying, to be honest, it's not even about public anger anymore, because once the police fines are administered, then heads will have to roll. But now the fines are being administered, we don't know who got them. We're not going to find out from the Met. Downing Street are only going to say if Boris Johnson got one, not any of the supporting staff or anything. And the Blonde Yeti hasn't so far got a fine. So it feels right now as though the entire cabinet have dodged this like a deer on the M25, just dodging scrutiny and repercussions at every juncture. Where do we see this going, Davey?
I think that they are so lucky at the set of circumstances around everything at the minute. I think that they're extremely lucky. They should be down on their hands and claws for Priti Patel, praying to the whatever demons it is that have empowered them to remain in Downing Street this long for thanks. But what they don't seem to understand is this, and I actually wrote a blog post about this a while ago, and it was literally called something like accountability now or rioting later. Okay, let's say you dodge out of Partygate. It is the Tories. It is only a matter of time until another scandalous thing comes out, another terrible thing that they've done. And we're not as like shocked as I am that British people who've spent my entire adolescence telling me how no nonsense they are, as lackadaisical as we've been in taking action, something's going to catch on fire. So my suggestion to them would be, make people take accountability now. Because if you don't make them take accountability now, something bad will happen down the line. That's not a threat. It's not a warning. It's a fact.
Yeah, it's very true. It's one of the quotes I always come back to on various episodes of this is the Tupac Shakur quote, where he's talking about social justice movements of the 60s, 70s, 80s. And he's saying, like, when people are hungry or when people are desperate, they start off knocking on the door and saying, like, please, can we have some food? And then when it's been 2 days or 3 days, then they're banging a bit louder and then banging a little bit louder and shouting and screaming. But eventually they will break the fucking door down and take your food if you don't listen to them. And where we're at now, I think, is that period of people being incredibly frustrated that they're not listened to. In fact, they're not just not listened to, they're ridiculed, mocked, diluted in importance, dismissed. And yeah, I agree. I think at some point, something will catch fire. Let's go to yourself, Tan. Where do you think Partygate is headed?
Well, hopefully the catch fire stage. Love a riot. You think I'm joking? I have attended them. Yeah, well, it's the only way that I'm going to find my future husband, I think, is a riot. But in terms of the law and the government, the thing with Partygate, I think that's, I mean, the British public don't like people breaking rules anyway. It's kind of a UQ jump. You break the rules, we get angry. So that was a massive slap in the face for people on so many levels who had suffered so much. And I don't think that we can have this discussion without, paying attention to the fact that so many people have lost so much during all this. And that's something that the government just refused to acknowledge over and over again. And the thing that concerns me about Partygate is it's dragging on and it's dragging on whilst other crises, some caused by the Conservatives, some not caused by the Conservatives, happen. And my concern is that they're going to do what they have done with the Grenfell inquiry, I assume they're going to do with the COVID inquiry, which is drag it out to the point where people are exhausted. The updates on it don't even make any sense anymore. Or it's just like erroneous crap over a long period of time, to the point where it kind of people just kind of don't think about it, but because they've heard it so often, it's there is a term for that.
They sort of tire of it, don't they? Like media fatigue, or
absolutely, yeah. But what this has proven is that the law and the government they're just in cahoots, and that neither system is fit for purpose at all. The government are just a husk, and the way that the Met have handled this and handled so many things has just proven that if you're a really rich, white, powerful man, the law does not apply equally to you as it does to anybody else.